And in Jigawa, for the time I was there was nothing like killing. Nobody was ever killed. Earlier on, in fact, it happened once, and then I called the district head and the emir and the police. I say, find out the cause. Before they know, a chairman of government who refused to go to a meeting of Security Council with the product name. We got him removed. And we also got the district head removed because there should be sanctions for those who flout our laws. There should be sanctions. And it was very easy. The commitment must be there, that somebody would be there, I'm there for all, and I'm there for justice, and I'm there for the people. Now, what do I do now, culturally, traditionally? Can we sustain this thing for the next 100 years? If not so, then let's begin to address it. Simple. We should be looking at the future, because there is no way you'll keep on going the way you're going with these people roaming around with their cows in the next 100 years. Neither will the farmer be using his own, hoe to cultivate his own land. It's about simply using science to support both professions, because they are professions. We need the meat, they need the food. Simple.
Now, Your Excellency, I want to take you to something you mentioned where you were talking about you were X this, X that, X this, X that. One of the things you were X was, as you said, national chairman of the SDP in the then Kano state. And then subsequently you became the national secretary of the SDP. Now, the SDP was very well remembered at the time for winning the June 12, 1993 elections, the presidential elections. The late Chief M.K. Abiola, your very good friend. But he was never allowed to assume power. The election was annulled. But only recently, after about 25 years, General Buhari, one, acknowledged that MKO, on behalf of the federal government, won that election. Two, posthumously gave him a national honor, as well as, of course, two other characters, two other people involved, Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, and then, of course, the late Chief Gani Fawemi. What did you think of that?
Now, let's put this in context and also in sequence. You see, as Nigerians, we always think about today. We don't reflect and see what was yesterday. The party called SDP and NRC were not parties per se in terms of their origin and formation. Parties should be created by their leaders under OLO, Election Group, and UPN. And Amina Kano had never in PRP. And later we had NCNC. So these are parties to draw their inspiration from their leaders. And so in party formation, it's an architecture. You begin the building from the roof. So, by the time you put the roof, the guy in Kano who says maybe Jim Wobodo in PDP will come into it. And the guy in Kano who says Leukademi in this party. So it means the symbols, address the direction because they are known. The history of SDP, NRC was like that, The party was formed by the government. On the very day they are formed, the government appointed what he called a sole administrator.
Yes.
I was Marshal Alpha. And then they appointed, two leaders of the party, one Shekari for SDP, and I think one lady Alhaja Okono for NRC. The same thing replicated in Outlook government level. Government appointed, the very day the parties were formed, that's the day they gave the leadership. And then the government went about building structures for the parties.
Yes, party offices, secretariats, and all that.
And say, okay, fine. And then get them equipped. So the parties were never sovereign. There was nothing like what you call effort on members of to improve the parties. And then when Babangida was unleashing the transition, he made two clear statements. One, Decree 25, which banned everybody who was anybody in Nigeria from 1960 to 1983. It's like going into any maybe military, formation, maybe a GOC, and say with that division, which are about maybe 10,000 or 10,000 men and women of various ranks. You say fair enough. Today, you are only allowing the ordinary to a corporal to run, from sergeant up to whatever, they are only hereby formally maybe
retired.
Retired. And they wanted an army of corporals, where they have been. So he said, and I mean, that anybody who was anybody in political side in Nigeria from 1960 to 1979 is banned. Which means in one statement, our entire political history has been wiped away. The Oros, the Azukwes, the Aminakanos, the Naman, the Solomon, the Rima, everything has been wiped away. Leave what you call the new breed. Which really means the new greed. Because somebody comes to your house and say, look, your father is too rich. He'll never afford too long. He has not died. When do you enjoy the money? Let me kill him for you. If you agree, he becomes your father. Because you are an orphan. You must have a father, therefore, if he kills your father, he becomes your father. Number two, he said, he knew to whom he would not hand over power to.
Yes.
So it means, no matter the process, the campaign and the election, whatever, if the guy who emerged is not the kind of person, he made it very, very clear. But then because from that day on, I said, look, there is a lacuna in this transition. I said so. People didn't believe me. And so the process began. And then an element, disqualification began. I was running for governor in Jigawa State. I was running for governorship. I was disqualified. Balataka was in Gongola then.
Yes.
Same thing with Atiku Abubakar. Same thing with Hajan Awuse. Same thing with the guy from Imo, my friend, I forgot his name. So the element and disqualification had begun earlier on. But then because they're at a very micro level, nobody cared. And then there was convention with the political parties, where Olufalaye and Erdogan, was like out, in SDF, and Shinkafi, and later Chiroma, all of them were getting out, in NRC. And then the conventions, the government annulled all the conventions, in tune and in line with their earlier prophecy.
About knowing who they wouldn't hand over to.
So by the time Olufalaye, later Erdogan, Adamu Chiroma, Shinkafi were disqualified, there was nobody anymore in the scene because of Decree 25. And then from nowhere, Abiola emerged, who earlier on in MPN was thoroughly humbled. And because what he did against Babolo over this Diolo estate kind of thing, lost out within the robbers and also with his brother in the north. He said, I'm finished with politics. But then because he saw the empty space, he emerged. He still stop up. Now, by the time Abiola was running for the president, already in his own state, in a councillor in place, who had been elected. You've got a local government council chairman in place. Same also as a governor, an assembly, and the Senate. He had no idea how they are produced. He was not in the party anyhow, so it means he has no history in the party. It's all part of the plan. And by the time the election were annulled, you understand who speak? Because the party is not owned by anybody, secretariat, everything. So it is something we fail to fully understand, totally appreciating. And Buhari, who is now coming to try to reap benefit from this, was around under Abacha. He was very close to Abacha. He was his chair of PTF. When this transition was unfolding, when Abiola was picked and put to prison, Buhari was there. When Rwanda was killed, Buhari was there. When Kudus was killed, Buhari was there. When Alfonso Goro was killed, Buhari was there. Abiola died in detention. There are so many deaths. He was there watching. He never for one day made any comment. And for all these 25 years, he didn't say anything. Only for him not to come and say blah, 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 blah. A town called Democrat, somebody who tried democracy would not and lay claim to democracy, and then try to another. I mean, he's simply hoodwinking people. And it's part of the insult on our political psyche. Somebody who had no input, who had no idea how it was, how it was done, will now say he's going to honor it. Number two, Babagana Kingibe, who was Abiola's number 2 man.
Running mate, yes.
All right? Who was part of the conspiracy to annul the elections. Who became a minister under the same government with another elections. You understand? Who is now in this very government is now being honored for treachery. And those who are also clamoring for June 12, June 12, June 12, where were they on June 11? All this, there's so much hypocrisy, so much double speak, so much, because June 12 has been distorted. All those who are talking now are not there yet on June 11.